So in the last 14 days, we cash collected $86,000 for one of our clients. And sure, when you look at his audience size, you might think that is advantaged because he has a decent audience, but when you look at the actual quality of each follower, most of them are either unqualified, unengaged, Nigerian, African. So there's a really small part of his audience that we could take and actually make money from. We did it using one simple converting mechanism, which is literally printing millions of dollars as we speak every single day in the info space. Now, you clicked on this video for one specific reason. You're a coach, a consultant, or an info manager running your own coaching offer, and right now you're stuck either at 10K all the way up to 40K, and you're looking to scale. Those numbers are inconsistent. You want to find a predictable, consistent way to scale up. By the end of this video, you're gonna understand exactly how to implement this for your coaching business, whether it makes sense for your offer, and what you need to have in place before you actually want to run it. 2K registrants, 57% short, which is absolutely nuts, and 1.3K live attendees. Now, I'm pretty sure you understood that the mechanism was running webinars, right? This is the same exact converting system that allowed Shelby Sapp to make $5 million in just 30 days. And if you're thinking, oh wow, but Shelby Sapp has already a huge audience, blah, blah, blah. There are hundreds of thousands of online coaches, I'm not joking, with way smaller audiences, and it could be less than 10,000 followers, making multiple six figures a month just from webinars alone. There are four main levers that we pulled in order to get these results, which are marketing, so getting traffic to your offer, getting eyeballs, actually making our followers registrants for the webinar. Then you have the presentation, you have the sales process, and you have the follow-ups, okay? So let's get into the first part, which is my favorite one by far, which is the marketing strategy. You could have the best offer in the world, you could be the best at what you do, but if you don't have proper marketing, you're never gonna make money because people don't know what you do, or they're not gonna even get interested about it, right? So let me make my camera smaller and let's get cooking. We use 3 different platforms to make this possible. First one is being IG, second one being YouTube, and third one being emails, okay? So let's get into IG, which is by far my favorite to convert people into registrants. As I said, IG is the highest converting platform by far. That's the platform that pretty much does all the heavy lifting to make our followers registrants. And that's like pretty much, I would say 60-70% of our followers, of our audience became a registrant through IG. But that's also a great way to nurture people and all that. But we pretty much use stories and reels, okay? And obviously a managed automation. We pretty much did a 10, it was 11 kind of, but we did a 10 days promo. I wouldn't do anything more than 10, simply because people after 10 days, which is already a solid amount of days, start, I don't want to say forget about it, but they kind of could prioritize different things, right? They kind of like lose the hype if you don't market it properly. So I would say that 10 days is the sweet spot. You can do everything between like 4 and 10 days. That's kind of the sweet spot where you want to be in. We did 10 because we obviously wanted to get as many registrants as possible, and we also had to capture a cold audience. But what we were doing is we're posting 2 reels per day and story sequences almost every single day. I'm gonna break this down so deeply that no way you're not gonna be able to implement this for yourself. So every single day we will post 2 reels. Now, one being a viral format that we developed for this client that goes viral every single time with the managed automation, where we were pushing for registrations using the viral format that we developed for him. And I swear this goes viral every single time, at least 50K views on the reel. Now here we did 154,000, which is pretty solid, but the amount of registrants and new followers that we got from this is absolutely insane. So obviously we had a common keyword, and I'll send you the registration link, but we don't only want to push it too much, because obviously we also want to make a second reel every single day that pretty much obviously gets lower views, but we don't really care about the views since we have this viral format that already gets the traffic for us. And this lower view reel would be shifting beliefs and handling objections that our audience could have prior to the webinar. And we would also sell on the unique mechanism showing social proof, showing results, right? So let's say that someone registers and then they start thinking, I'm not gonna join because this works for only experienced traders. Boom, we tackle it with the reel, where we make a reel saying how this literally works for everyone. And we have one more attendee. Now, think about like out of 2K registrants, how many people have doubts, have questions. So we pretty much tackle everything on the reel. Or we sell on the unique mechanism showing social proof hitting their exact pain points, so that then they're gonna be like, oh wow, this dude knows what knows my pains, knows my struggles, he knows what he's talking about. Oh, then he might be worth a shot, right? He knows exactly my situation. He might as well just know how to get me out of there. People are gonna be listening to you 10 times more if you actually call them out specifically, okay? And when you know your ICP so well, the marketing is gonna get 10 times easier because you only speak to that kind of audience and you're gonna make way more money. Let me make an example, okay? So let's say that you're in a huge crowded room, right? And someone starts talking to you. You're obviously gonna pay attention only to that guy that is talking to you, and everything else is pretty much gonna like blur out. You know what I mean? So that's why you wanna know your ICP so well, because one, you can know their doubts, you can know their limiting beliefs, and two, you know exactly their pain points, their dream outcomes to target them and make them register and make them show up to the webinar, okay? And this is the real strategy that we adapted. Second, we will post story sequences almost every single day. Now, let me actually break down every single sequence that we posted so that you can literally just take it and copy from it, right? So we had a day 0 where it was pretty much building hype and keeping people on the lookout, okay? So do you like presents? Yes, or it depends. We do this to kind of like get higher story views. Pulls and engaging stuff gets higher story views. We'll be announcing this tomorrow. Consider this your Christmas gift from me, giving you a real shot to get ahead on 90% of the traders this year. Stay tuned on the stories. And then obviously we also say that 100% free, tired of the flashy stuff out there. I've been preparing something insane for you to become profitable. So then we had day 1, which was announcement day, and this is where you're gonna get your first spike in registrants, okay? You're gonna get 2 spikes in registrants. The first one is gonna be on 24 hours after announcing, and the second one is gonna be 24 hours before the actual webinar, okay? So it's something like, oh, huge announcement, I'm running a free masterclass on next day, blah, blah. This is the same, and then we have social proof, like this is the same system that made me 800K this year, the same system that makes students like Omar over 10K per month. And then we incentivize them to register, and we also, I'll get into this later, I'll get into this free guide later, but what we do is we incentivize them to actually register. And then we have the reply to this story with class if you want to register, extremely limited spots. Obviously we will spark scarcity, and what we would do is, like, instead of just putting the link, we would do, as you can see here, the ManyChat automation for one reason. As I was saying earlier, when people engage with your story, when you have polls, when you have Q&As, you're gonna get way more higher story views. And then what you could also do is you could also follow up with people that DM you the word, because either they might have not registered, or you just want to follow up sending long form assets, like nurturing them if they're ICP before the actual masterclass, right? You want to send them assets, or you want to make sure that they actually registered and build more rapport, okay? Then we had day 2, which is a what we'll cover plus filtering out unserious people CTA and the CTA. Okay, so yesterday I announced my free live masterclass on January 18th. Here's what we're gonna cover. This is not for everyone. This is not for you if you're looking for a get rich quick scheme. So we pretty much filter out all the unserious people. You're not ready to put in the work. You're not willing to follow a proven system. Okay, so obviously this is kind of filtering out all the bad leads, all the people that are not serious. Then we have day 3. So since we don't want to push it out too much, we don't want to like burn our audience, we posted a lifestyle authority increasing perceived value with no CTA. So pretty much what we did is we had 1 or 2 stories, I don't remember if this is the second one or the only one we did, where we posted pictures of the creator's key in, and then we said, this is a video of like him being in a luxury place, paid by the Novic strategy, which is our unique mechanism. Traded earlier this week, made 7K and link free now, something that most trading strategies cannot give you. Be ready for January 18th. So we pretty much build hype, but most importantly, we're pretty much just increasing the perceived value. We don't just do it to flex on the audience. Then we had day 4, which is scarcity, social proof, and a CTA plus a my story repost to nurture people. So, we had X amount of registrants, testimonials, and then we just posted we reposted these my story reels, so to kind of like show people that everyone can do this and that they can do it too. And this reel is pretty much structured in a way where we frame the creator as someone normal, as someone like our prospects, and then it just shows like how he became profitable. And it doesn't only sell on the unique mechanism, but it also nurtures the audience, and like they start to like the creator more because they go like, oh wow, this guy went through so much, but I can do it too, right? Then we had day 5, which is a YouTube video CTA, a social proof video, and a poll. Okay, so I'll get into the YouTube strategy later, but what we do again, ManyChat CTA, win here, like this is a video of the creator just showing all the wins on the group call, and then a poll to increase story views. Then day 6, we had another YouTube CTA of a recap selling on the strategy with on YouTube the CTA for the masterclass. Day 8, we basically pretty much did a Q&A and language actions or answering questions. Day 9, my story CTA, and day 10, which was day of the webinar, just normal reminders. Okay, for YouTube, what we did is pretty much just post YouTube videos throughout the whole promotion journey, because usually people need 7 hours of watch time before like actually trusting you, actually buying your product, and you cannot do it through 60-second reels. So what we did is we posted 2-3 YouTube videos to nurture people even more, to make them show up on the webinar, to sell on the unique mechanism. Okay, and obviously on each of the videos we would say, now I took this from another guy, but join my free live trading where I will be breaking down exactly blah blah blah, right? So you see here, like at around the 1 minute mark, we would also do a webinar CTA to like register. So this played a huge part, not in our registrants, but in like nurturing them and like making sure that they actually trust us before the webinar already, and also that they're gonna show up, that they believe us, that they trust us, and just nurturing them overall, right? Then we also used emails. And being honest, like emails are not really effective for us, but we obviously decided to still have a couple promotion emails. They didn't go pretty well, being absolutely honest with you, but that's because we knew that they weren't effective, but we still wanted to try them out. So we would do 1 email every 2 days. So we have an announcement email, free coaching hook, value dance, shock hook, value, and FOMO. This shock hook is pretty much like, oh, I almost dreamt of missing the webinar, like something funny. Then 24 hours left, and language actions like, oh, what if I don't show up, what if I'm not experienced, or all this stuff. Then we have morning off, 3 hours live, and 10 minutes before live. Okay, now this is the free coaching hook. Yes, 100% free. Just screenshot this if you want to read it all the way through. And then if you want the rest of the emails, just shoot me a DM on IG. If it doesn't work, just shoot me a DM on X. I don't know, my IG is like locked and restricted for some reason. They don't want me dropping free value here. Oh shit. I messed everything up, but that's alright. I'm in flow state, I don't really care. Now, where are we actually sending all these people? Like, what's the goal of this marketing? Where do you want to send people in order to register? You might as well just throw everything in the trash if you don't have a landing page that is high converting, that is well structured, and that has good copy. And these 3 things are key for a webinar landing page. Now, we clearly had 2 pages. We have the landing page normal, and we have the confirmation page. I don't know why computer is buggy now, but it doesn't matter. Not gonna let them to stop my workflow. So as you can see, like, it's pretty premium and like high quality feeling. As you can see, like, it has all the lights, it's neon. But yeah, you see here, like, still my untapped no strategy that's made me and my students 800K in 2025. Learn how to make 10K a month consistently without prior experience. We have the date here, a countdown to spark urgency, claim your free ticket now, obviously CTA, some testimonials here like social proof, scarcity down here. Then we're providing a clear schedule about what we're gonna cover, and this pretty much sparks fear of missing out, because what we did is we know exactly what our audience struggles with. We know our ICP, we know their problems. So we pretty much tailored the schedule to solving every single one of their problems. If we know that our audience struggles with revenge trading, we're on the schedule, we're gonna fix revenge trading, right? And yeah, we have solutions targeted to their problem, and this sparks a lot of fear of missing out. Okay, then we have an in-depth description of the creator. We're pretty much building authority and credibility for cold traffic that might not really know who he is. As you can see here, 800k verified, 100 students, and 85% win rate. Then we have a is this for you section, where we're filtering out unqualified or unserious prospects. Like this is not for you if you're looking for a get rich quick scheme. I already ran you through it a second ago. Then we have social proof like long form and screenshots, which pretty much increases credibility, and we're showing that we can solve their problem, and like we make it relatable, right? If this testimonial, I haven't watched it obviously because it's my clients, but I know that this was from a guy working in 9 to 5. So let's say that he was working at Chipotle, and so we might have a guy that wants to register. He's gonna watch a testimonial from a guy just like him working at Chipotle, struggling with their exact same trading problems, which could be X, Y, or Z. It's gonna be like mind blown, right? It's gonna be like, oh wow, this guy was in the same exact position as me, and the creator helped him to get exactly where I also wanna get. So I believe he can do it because he already done it for other people just like me. And then down here we had a countdown at a CTA, and obviously you want to make it super easy to register. People are monkeys. You gotta think of it as like if you're selling to monkeys. So let's say that someone scrolls down the whole page and at the end you don't have another CTA button to register. Bro, people are lazy. They're not gonna be wanting to scroll back up and claim their ticket. So instead what you want to do is you want to put another end of page CTA here. And then we also had a sticky button, which honestly is a complete cheat code because it builds urgency and scarcity. If you don't know what a sticky button is, it's pretty much when you scroll down and up, you're always gonna have it down here, and on it we put like only 8 free spots left. Then ticket price increases to $47. So people had the urgency to register, right? And this is so good. It got us so many registrants, and it's literally a cheat code. So you gotta think of the registration page as like a 3-lock safe. So you pretty much need 3 main things: the right combination, the right key, and the right fingerprint. And if any of those is missing, the safe will not open, which means you will not get the registrant. And I know that a lot of people think, oh well, if I have enough marketing content done properly, if I post the right content, the landing page doesn't matter. But it fucking does, right? It does. Your page, landing page, especially for webinars, does matter, okay? And you wanna follow a similar framework as what we did here. Then once people register, we had the confirmation page. Now this is not as premium as this other one, but it's still pretty solid, okay? So we had a do not close this page tab. We had like your registration is almost complete. We obviously don't want to tell them, hey man, your registration is complete, just do all these steps below, because we want to tell them, hey man, to like confirm your spot, do this, or we're gonna give it to someone else that actually does the stuff that we tell him to do, right? So we had a mini video here which would pretty much give expectations and would lead on to the next steps, which are 1, join the WhatsApp group now. I'll get into the WhatsApp method in literally 5 minutes, but this is so OP and it made us so much money even after the webinar. But yeah, we pretty much would reward people for joining our WhatsApp group. So we would have like a freebie to all the people that join. They can only get on the WhatsApp group. Then we would like have a button here where people, like if you just click on this button, you're gonna get sent to a Google Calendar page of the same exact date of the webinar, of the exact same time, with the live room link to it. If you want to know how to do it, just DM me on IG or on X, I'll let you know. But this is so good because it literally is just an automatic reminder. And then we tell them to check their emails and make sure they got the invite so that they can read all our nurturing emails. And then we obviously had testimonials, okay? So this is pretty much what we did for marketing. But obviously, once someone registers, we also have the pre-webinar nurturing. It's not like, oh wow, someone registers. The whole time of the promo, we don't do shit to the registrants. We only care about getting registrants. That's not how it works. You want to have a huge nurturing period so that when they show up to the webinar, they show up 100% convinced that this can help them, okay? So we did emails and the WhatsApp group, which is a no-peer strategy, okay? So we had so many emails. We had 2 confirmation emails. We had a why you can miss this. We have a my story email. We have a why 95% of traders stay broke. We have a future pacing email. We have like the filtering out the bad leads. So like Sunday is not for unserious people and all this stuff. Then we had here's what I'm revealing on the masterclass, but what if, so pretty much handling objections about the live class. So like giving another sneak peek, 2 days left, for 1 day left. We're live in 6 hours, starting in 2 hours, in 50 minutes. 50 minutes after, like it's not too late, I just got into the good stuff, join up, and then we're live right now, and then we have the 50 minutes after, which is the last one. But I don't really want to get into the emails. Again, if you need it, just DM me on IG. But what I really want to break down for you is the WhatsApp method, okay? This is what I call the brainwashing system. We post every single day, 1-2 times per day on IG. I think it's more than 1-2 times actually. But what we want to do is we want to keep leads engaged. Why WhatsApp over Telegram? Simple, because WhatsApp is way better. Since the creator was European, in Europe, pretty much 99.9% of Europeans use WhatsApp. That's something that people actually pay attention when they receive notification from WhatsApp, that people actually open, that people actively use, and that's why WhatsApp is so good, and I prefer WhatsApp over Telegram. So the day one message was, yo, welcome, I'm super excited. As promised, your success guide is waiting you in the description. The day is gonna be insane. Then we do a poll to just hype them up, and we send them to our long form course, okay? So welcome, lead magnet CTA, building hype, asking them to check their emails, which is super, super important. And we tell them to show up concentrated, okay? And we also do a poll to engage, and we send them a free training for cold leads that don't really know who we are. On day 2, we make sure that they grab the lead magnet. And on the lead magnet, what we would do after having all the value is we would give them like 5 YouTube videos to watch before the webinar in order to come as prepared as possible. And this is directly on the freebies website. We didn't do a Google document. We did a full website just for the freebie so that we could link the videos and we can nurture them even more. And you have no idea how much this helped us. So when you do a freebie, make sure you link your other long form stuff on there. So we pretty much had like the full guide. And then at the end of the guide, we had, well, watch these videos to come as prepared as possible, and we had like sections for every single problem that our audience has. So are you struggling with psychology? Watch this psychology video. Are you struggling with your strategy? Watch this video. Do you want to watch a testimonial? Watch this video, okay? As you can see here, 5 videos that are going to make you profitable in 2026, sorry. And then we also would run polls to keep people engaged and making sure that they actually set up reminders. So did you set up reminders for the class? Did you grab the trading guide? And where are you at in your journey? Okay. Then the day 3 message is pretty much spamming student results and a CTA for the long form video that we posted that same day. You can like take this. I'm not going to obviously read through all of this, but we just spam student testimonials. Then we have day 4. Which is sending reel selling on unique mechanism. Like this is a reel of the guy making actually insane money while doing nothing. And then CTA to set up the reminder, and poll to make sure that they actually watch the confirmation video preparing for the webinar. And the confirmation video pretty much also tells them to like watch their emails, which is what we want to do. All right. Then we have the day 5 message, which is a voice message, which is a voice note hyping up the leads, and CTA for free guide, and CTA on YouTube for the video that we posted that same exact day. Then we have day 7 message, which is like just sending the objections, spamming student results poll, and making sure that we read the emails, and CTA for new video with the comment bait. And what is the comment bait is pretty much telling them to like comment a specific keyword so that we know where they came from, even though we don't really care about it. We just want to check if like people are actually engaged. And obviously when people comment on YouTube, the video is going to get pushed way more because the algorithm thinks that it's a really good video. And then 48 hours before, we have the reminder video and a CTA to YouTube shifting limiting beliefs. Then we have the 24 hours one, 24 reminder video. Then we have the day of the webinar, which is like morning meme, long form testimonials related to audience situation, reminder 1 hour, 50 minutes now and 50 minutes later to make sure that people actually show up. And genuinely, this is the number one reason on why we were able to get a 57% show rate, which is absolutely nuts. It's insane, okay? So make sure you actually implement this WhatsApp method because it's the number one reason we were able to make 86K in 14 days. And I feel like with the proper strategy, you could do even better. All right. So now that we covered all the marketing, how do we actually structure a webinar that converts people and that makes people book calls or buy directly on the webinar? Depends if you're doing direct to checkout. So we used one specific framework for the slides. And as you can see here, this is 365 slides purely with the goal of selling on the creator, on the mechanism, and on the offer, okay? Now, obviously, we took care of every single slide right here. The creator didn't have to take care of a single thing. We did everything A to Z for him. He just woke up, he read the slides, and he liked them. But that's kind of why we're so good and why we get these numbers, because we pretty much do everything for our clients. We don't want them to do anything outside of fulfillment and content. So we follow this pretty strict 17-step framework, which is really, really good. And that's what I use for every single one of my clients' webinars. So we have step 1, which is the hook, okay? This is a unique introduction that immediately grabs your audience's attention and creates pattern interrupt from their daily mental state. So someone might have had a really bad day at work. We want to show that we actually care about them and that we actually put them in the learning flow, okay? By the way, if you want the slides again, DM me on IG. Step 2 is pain and addressing objections early on. So we want to list every excuse, every constraint or limiting belief that would prevent them from taking action, could be big or small. We want to address false beliefs that create real consequences in the results and life, and we want to make their fears feel normal and solvable. Then we have step 3, which is the T's. So by the end of the webinar, you'll know how to do A, B, C, and D. We want to transform their pain points into outcome-based promises that feel tangible and achievable. We have step 4, which is excite and show results. Paint the vision of their ideal world if they successfully apply what you're teaching, and we want to connect to their deeper motivations. Then we have step 5, authority. We want to establish yourself as the uniquely qualified person to solve their specific problem. Position the mechanism or approach as the only way that can get them to their dream outcome, just like it already did for multiple other people in this situation. Now, I'm not gonna break down every single step because it's so long, but it's so good. Now, before we get into the last 2 points, which are key, if you're a coach stuck at 10 all the way up to 40, 50K per month inconsistent, and you want me to show you exactly what's broken in your current setup and give you the roadmap to implement this system to make 100K per month consistently, first link in the description. You have the link to book a one-on-one call with me. I'm going to walk you through whether webinars make sense for your offer, how to structure your funnel around it, and what you need in place in order to scale to 6 figures consistently per month. So if you want that, it's 100% for free. The link is in the description. Book a time. See you there, okay? Now, let's get into the sales system and follow-up. I'm so excited, you have no idea, okay? So, sales system. If you don't have a locked-in team, you're gonna make 50% less money than what you actually could make. Now, fortunately, I have an absolute killer as a sales manager. I cannot be doing the low leverage tasks like the sales team. I'm not saying that the sales team is a low leverage task, but I could be focusing on way more important stuff as a marketer. So that's why you wanna focus on high leverage tasks. But I have an absolute killer. If you want me to connect you with him, is the main man behind the sales team. He's so good, I cannot even express it. But we had 3 main systems that allowed people to go from not knowing who we are to paying us 5K easily in literally days. So we had the setting, the pre-call, and the close. Now, the main 3 keys for setting are speed to lead. You know, as soon as we saw that a call was being booked, that a form was being submitted, we would let the setter straight up on it. So this obviously gets way higher pickup rates, and we're catching them where they're still high intent. Then we want to prioritize certain leads. Obviously, we want to prioritize the leads that are the most hot and that are the most qualified. So, and then we obviously have a webinar specific framework just for the dialer and the setting process. Then the pre-call, we would use the WhatsApp method. I made a full video on it. If you want, go watch that. But we will send them sales assets like a My Story video, like the full offer stack down here, which is genuinely a cheat code. So if you structure properly the offer stack that you send to people after they book a call, if they're qualified, they're gonna be so bought into the offer before even jumping on the call, because they're gonna know what it is even before the closer actually explains it to them. So you obviously want to structure this properly. This is pretty much just like a pitch deck explained by the creator, but you want to pretty much take every single one of your audience's problems and tie it to your programs features, because people don't care about features, but the only way they're gonna care about it and watch like a 20-30 minutes video about the offer, if you connect their problem to the solution, all right, and you give them a solution for everything. And then for the closers, I don't even have to speak much about it. These are gonna be the easiest leads you're ever gonna close, the most layup deals you're ever gonna see, because they're gonna be so nurtured after watching a 2-3 hours long piece of content, because a webinar is pretty much a piece of content from you, where you pretty much just sell on you, sell on the offer, sell on your unique mechanism. As long as they're qualified, these are going to be the easiest leads you're ever close. But what I really want to get into is the follow-ups, because a webinar is 70% of the webinar on the webinar directly and 30% on the follow-ups, okay? Follow-up is where the real money is. If you're not following up, this is you're leaving so much money on the table. Now, we had 4, I don't know how to count, my bad. We had 4 different method that we followed up with people after the webinar. People are pussies, they're scared. Not everyone feels too sure about booking a call directly on the webinar. That's why we have this method. The first one is the replay page. We pretty much would do ManyChat automations with CTAs on IG and YouTube for the replay, where they can watch pretty much everything from A to Z here again, and then they can apply with the bonuses. Because doing bonuses on your webinar is key. You're never gonna print money if you don't put bonuses. Then we had WhatsApp, take these messages, screenshot them if you want, but we pretty much do CTAs with scarcity and urgency, and then we would also spam student results. Then we had the dialer, calling up the applicants that didn't book, the people that watched the full webinar but didn't apply. Webinar Gem as an option where you can export all the leads based on like priority. At the top, you could have the ones that watch full webinar, and then at the bottom, the ones that watch the least amount of the webinar, okay? So you want to obviously call up everyone in order, and then registrants that didn't show up once all these people are done. And this is so key, because people are pussies, they're scared to book a call. So if you have someone on the call telling them, hey man, book a call with my team, you're gonna make money, they are. It's just that they're scared to do it alone. Same thing for the email. We have 2 different flows for attendees and non-attendees. For attendees, we have 1 hour after webinar, thank them for attending, CTA to apply now, 1 day after webinar, send replay link and live CTA, 2 days after webinar, direct CTA, 3 days after webinar, bonuses expiring soon, and scarcity-based CTA, and then 4 days after webinar CTA. Same thing for the non-attendees. We had 4 emails pretty much selling on the bonuses of the offer and sending them the webinar replay. But that's pretty much like A to Z everything that we did to scale this offer all the way up to $86,000 in just 14 days, not even in a full month, okay? And this is why webinars are so powerful. They're literally a cheat code, and you're gonna make so much money with them only if you run them properly. So look, if you're serious about scaling your coaching business and you don't wanna waste another 6 to 12 months figuring this out on your own, I'm opening up a couple of slots for strategy calls. If you're a coach or a consultant stuck at 10 all the way up to 30-40k months but inconsistent, and you want to implement these success systems that I break down in the videos, just booking a call through that link below. It's 100% free. Apart from that, I appreciate you so much for checking out this video. Peace.